Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a champion guide for Bellower, so let's get into it. Alrighty, Bellower is a rare from the Ogryn tribe's Void Affinity, so let me go ahead and pull him up. He is down here on the far right, and this is Bellower. Alright, so Bellower is one of the most, what's the word I'm looking for here? Most discussed heroes in the game because he's very interesting. He has only AoE abilities, and he's, you know, supposedly really good at the campaign, but he's kind of tough to get because he's a void, and he's kind of tough to get to that point where he's really good because he's very gear intensive. So he's very widely discussed and theory crafted about, and wondering, you know, should I, you know, invest in my Bellower, or, you know, do I have the gear for it and all that stuff. So that's what I'm going to be going over. First, let's just kind of go over his abilities here. A1, attack all enemies with a 20% chance of placing a block cooldown skills debuff for 1 turn. That's like a really good arena ability. Alright, A2, attack all enemies, a 50% chance of placing a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. That can be really good kind of just in general. And then bowl over is the A3, attack all enemies with a 75% chance of placing a 25% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns, and a 75% chance of placing a 30% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. And we can see that we can improve both the cooldown and the debuff chances there with skill books and duplicate Bellowers. So yeah, Bellower is very solid. From all of my champion guide videos, I make one of these. This is gonna just kind of show the hero in general. We can see the grades here for Bellower are campaign A+. He is the best campaign farmer out of all the rares, better than Kale, Aethel, Elaine. He's the best, and he's S tier. He's probably the best campaign farmer in the game that's realistic to acquire. There's probably some legendaries that can outshine him, maybe barely, but I mean, he farms the 12-3, which is, you know, brutal difficulty stage 12 in like 7-8 seconds. And then even if he's not perfectly optimized, he still does it in like 12 to 15. So just an absolute incredible campaign farmer. Not great versus the clan boss. That's not really where you're going to want to be using him. I mean, he does, you know, have a few debuffs he can apply and stuff. So he's not just absolute garbage, but he's pretty bad versus the clan boss. And then he's really good in arena. He's, you know, because of that A1 and applying the debuffs in the arena, he can be a really good support that does a decent amount of damage for you in the arena. And he's really good in dungeons. He brings good AoE for, you know, he's great in the spider den. He's great for clearing out trash to get to the bosses. And then when you even get to the boss, he can apply those debuffs and do pretty good. So, I mean, a very good all-around hero. And if you want that, it'll be down in the video description. You can click on that champion guide that I had made. So, I will show you my Bellower and kind of how I set him up, and kind of how you can look to set yours up. Bellower, okay. So, we can see here, before we get into it, mine does have 30,000 power, which is pretty good. If you can get your Bellower to 30,000 power, you'll be farming very efficiently, and you'll be smashing those dungeons and doing very well with them. So I would say the most important thing to do is get to 100% crit rate and get to 100% crit damage. That's kind of, you want to have 100% on both of those to help Bellower shine and do enough damage to really pull his weight. We don't really want to go with lifesteal on Bellower, because if we're not glass cannon doing enough damage in the campaign to clear it quickly, we're not doing it right. So he's not the type of farmer that's really going to take advantage of lifesteal, and we're never going to use him against the clan boss where he needs to sustain for, you know, 7 minutes. So I think it's best to use him with kind of glass cannon setup here that I have with no lifesteal, and then use him in conjunction with someone like Apothecary is great because he can single target heal. And I'll explain kind of how I use him in my setups a little bit down the road. But yeah, so for the top gears are all going to be the same. Weapons always roll attack, helms are always HP, shields are always defense. So For as far as main stats on our secondary pieces on the lower level here, we want crit rate. 5-star crit rate is very important to get on the gloves. And then obviously we want crit damage, attack percentage, speed, stuff like that. On the armor, we're always going to want attack percent. And then if you can get crit rate, accuracy, crit damage, speed, stuff like that on the substats, you're doing good. Now the boots. This is always an interesting one because there's an argument to be made that's better to go with attack percentage on the boots instead of speed. I still use my Bellower in the arena, and if you're going to use Bellower for the arena, you're probably going to want speed on your boots, but it's going to be easier to get to the threshold of doing well in the campaign if you use attack percentage instead of speed on your boots. So if I'm no longer ever using Bellower in the arena, I will probably swap boots out for attack percentage boots and then try to get, you know, the crit rate and speed and stuff like that as substats. Jewelry is pretty standard, and with Bellower, he is a support, so he does have lower attack numbers. So the raw number of attack is not as far behind attack percentage, so it's actually okay on Bellower. It's still not as good, but it's okay to get the raw number of attack on Bellower because, you know, it still provides a pretty decent bonus. Like we can see here, his base attack is 1,000 as a level 60, and this provides almost 200, which is like 20% attack. So the main stat attack is still really good for Bellower because his attack roll is kind of low. And when we get attack percentage, it's based off of the base stat, not the total. So it's based off of the 1,000. So like this chest here, that gives me 50% attack. Oh, it was lagging a little bit there. Come on now, there we go. This 50% attack is based off of this 1,000, so it's giving me 500. It's not going to, you know, go off the green total. It's going off the base stat, the white there. So yeah, you're going to want to get good jewelry. Ideally get, you know, an amulet with crit damage. I don't have one of those yet. When I do, that'll be great. And, you know, just kind of get the stats that I had mentioned here up above, and you'll be golden. So let's talk about where to use Bellower and where he kind of does best. Bellower is going to be amazing in the Spider Den, and he's going to be good in like Ice Golem, Dragon Lair, not very good in Fire Knight, really good in Minotaur, and going to be decent in most of these, not great. He's okay in the potion dungeons, but not really where he shines. He's going to be best in the Minotaur, the Ice Golem, the Dragon, and the Spider. Kind of these four in the middle, kind of clearing trash and stuff. So I'll actually show. Bellower was a game changer for me in farming Minotaur. I can do Minotaur 15 in like a minute and a half. So, and if you can get to a point where you're farming Minotaur in a minute and a half on the toughest difficulty, it makes grinding those scrolls so much better. So right now I'm grinding Aethar scrolls. So I've got my team of 4 that are all maxed out. And then that means all the scrolls go to Aethar. And I'll kind of walk you through kind of how Bellower works and what makes him so strong. So, you know, we see the AoE, and then he decreases their defense and decreases their attack. Like, that's so good. When you're farming Minotaur, which is probably one of the most important grinds in the game, decrease attack is amazing because the Minotaur is going to hit so hard with his abilities, especially if he gets a hex on you, that you need a way to decrease his attack. And Bellower brings both decrease attack, decrease speed, and decrease defense. So plus really good AoE damage. So we can see here we're 35 seconds in and we're already hitting the Minotaur, and this is on the toughest difficulty. So and it's a big part of thanks to the Bellower. I was not able to do it this fast without him. And, you know, on a side note, when you're farming Minotaur, you want a team of 4 that can clear it efficiently. That way you can kind of rotate out that 5th person that you're farming scrolls for, and you have all your bases covered. So this is my team of 4 that I farm Minotaur with. Bellower, Kayle, Lord Champ 4, and Apothecary. And then my 5th one, I can just rotate out whoever I need scrolls for. And we'll see here this run will be about a minute and a half. And Bellower was probably the biggest game changer for me. And I'll have a guide coming out where it's really diving into an end game Minotaur guide. This is more focused on Bellower. So I just wanted to kind of show how effective he can be. You can see here he's applying the decrease, you know, attack, decrease defense and all that. And there we are. Minute and a half, and Bellower is just killing it. I don't want to, you know, make the video too long and do like a spider run and all sorts of stuff, but I will at least show the campaign. That's probably what people are most excited to see is Bellower in action in the campaign, because he really is used as a speed farmer. 12-3 is kind of the meta and where people farm. Let me bring nothing but food here so that we can see exactly how he does solo. It's going to say that you're not using an aura, and you should, but it's Bellower. He doesn't have an aura, but he's still killing it. He'll probably do this in 13 or 14 seconds. I don't have enough optimization damage to one-shot this third wave here. There's always just a little bit of HP left. If I can get to a point where I can one-shot that third wave here down the future, when I get just a little bit better, you know, amulet and banner and stuff like that, I'll be able to get him down to 7 to 9 seconds. But yeah, he still just kills it. He's at, you know, in the 12 to 13 range most runs. We'll do another one here just to really showcase him. And yeah, you know, he always one-shots the first 2 waves with my setup, and then he just can't quite one-shot that third wave. I need to get just a little bit better gear on him. But it's always, you know, right in that 13 to 14 second range. And boom. So there he is. So yeah, I mean, if you're farming 12-3 in less than 15 seconds, you're being extremely efficient. So I'm very happy with that, and I'm really happy that I invested in Bellower. And then yeah, last thing, I'll kind of go over the Masteries, which again I do have down here in this video description picture that I linked to, but I'll go over kind of the decisions you have to make here. I went with the end game being flawless execution just to get that crit damage, because I want that consistent proc for things like the Spider Den and the campaign, instead of like the War Master would be your other choice, but I think it's best to go with this one. And then obviously, you know, kill streak's great. You know, there wasn't a better option to go with, but I got to get to this one, so I went with that. As far as this tree, Master Hexer just makes those debuffs last longer, and like the Minnow, the Spider Den, and the Arena and stuff, so that can be good to get to. But yeah, you're gonna obviously want to go down the support tree and the offense tree in some sort of fashion that I have shown here. Some of these are really good, like increased damage inflicted by 8% on the first hit. That's an absolute must, because if you're using him in the arena and the campaign, you know, that's going to happen a lot. So, yeah, you know, increased speed for each enemy killed, stacks up to 18. That's another one that's really good for dungeons, Spider Den, and even farming Minotaur. So, yeah, take the time to go over these. I won't bore you by going over every single one, but yeah, it is going to be in this picture here that you can look over and kind of take your time with. You know, like I said, optimal sets. We don't really want to go lifesteal on him, in my opinion, so I left that one out. And even speed set, I'd rather kind of go with just the most crit damage and a crit rate that I can get. So yeah, that's kind of your general overview for Bellower and kind of showing him in action as a maxed out character. He is definitely a rock star, and if you get him, you're going to want to get him to 6 stars and start using him. So yeah, if you have any questions, drop it down in the comments. I'll do my best to help you out, and as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.